It's time to swarm the 402. Welcome to the Nebraska Hawks. These guys are brave. They're Hawkeyes living in enemy territory. Listen, these guys are way past their prime, but they're still Hawkeyes. They're spreading the Hawkeye hype to all of Nebraska. The frost advisory is canceled. Corn Huskers, more like corn suckers. Are you ready for this podcast? Let's go Hawks!
All right, welcome back to the Nebraska Hawks Nest, your beautiful Hawkeye oasis located in a nasty little Nebraska desert. It's time for another Swarm, the 402 podcast. I am joined by Russell the Muscle, a.k.a. Russell Stover, and Matty Ice in the house. Matt, how you guys doing?
We're doing well.
It's good to see your beautiful faces. We're down one man, Jerry. Didn't show up today because last week Jerry didn't do so well in his picks. Jerry went 2-7. So Jerry was like king of the mountain, sitting at the top, and he got dropped by a tandem of amazing college football pickers. Matty Ice jumped from the basement of the picks to very close to the mountaintop. Matt, you went 6-2 last week, which is very nice. Nice job, Matt. Russ went 6-2 as well. You guys did very well. I went 5-3, so not quite
fist bump, Jerry. Fist bump. Russ.
Matt's already missing Jerry. So
yeah, sorry. That was
Matt. Did you just call me Jerry?
I almost did. I'm used to like me, Adam, and Jerry, not me, Adam, and Russ. So it just flowed for a second there. I'm sorry. I apologize. Right. It won't happen again, I promise.
You just buy him a beer later and make up for it. It's okay. How many beers deep are you right now, Matt? Maybe that's the
This
problem.
is my first one. I had like 8 ounces of a hazy IPA earlier, but this is my first one.
All right. And then, we have the picture of health. Russell the Muscle just got back from the gym. Show us those guns, baby. Let's see those bad boys.
And my frost advisory t-shirt. Yeah.
Show us those. Show us those.
You get a lot of you get a lot of nasty looks at the gym with this shirt on.
That's awesome. Jeez.
That's all right.
All right, guys. We're gonna. It is good for him. Helps him keep it real. After beating Northwestern, they think they're going to win the national championship now. So have to remind them a little bit. So we were talking a little bit this week about ESPN College Gameday's choice for who they were going to be bringing their crew to this year. And a little bit surprised, a lot of us, the number one game in the country by far, not even close, number 3 Iowa versus number 4 Penn State. Now, ESPN College Gameday chose to go to the Red River rivalry. And say that 3 times fast. Interesting choice. Oklahoma not playing so well this year. Texas doing better than they have, but just not the marquee matchup that it normally is. Matt, what are your thoughts on this? I know you have some strong opinions on why this shook down this way.
Yeah, Adam. The Red River Showdown, I think,
whatever.
Whatever, showdown.
Yeah, whatever.
They had to change it because shootout was offensive. And you know my thoughts on that. But I really think they're just trying to build the brand of Oklahoma and Texas. They're coming to the SEC. It shows their SEC bias. I understand that Fox is coming, has our game on. It has the big noon kickoff on. But I believe Game Day's been at the same place the that Fox has aired their game.
Yeah.
I forgot. I was supposed to look that up, but I didn't, Adam. I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm sure it's happened.
It has happened.
That's just it. I mean, and ESPN, I mean, you can't tell me they don't have the power to change it if they wanted to go to the better game. But it's a win for Fox. I mean, Fox is going to have huge viewership Saturday just for that one game alone. So, I mean, there's going to be people watching the Red River Showdown, but I mean, compared to what Iowa and Penn State, I mean, that's huge. So that's a big loss for ESPN, I think, and it's just to build the brands of Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC is how I see it.
I think the big noon kickoff show, Russ, on Fox Sports is gaining steam. They have a really good crew that does those. It's becoming more and more popular. And, you know, I was talking to Matt earlier this week, and it's just kind of interesting to think that, you know, the whole ESPN Fox deal with college football has become so political. It really reminds me of a lot of the CNN, Fox News type of thing where, you know, you go to ESPN, it's very pro SEC, sprinkle in some ACC in there. And then Fox is, you know, very much Big Ten, a little Big 12 in there as well. So Russ, what are your thoughts on that whole selection process and a big swing and a miss by ESPN, in my opinion, on this one?
Yeah, I don't know what ESPN's thoughts are. I mean, how many times a year do you get number 3 versus number 4, especially this early in the season? You know, it's early October, and we've got, you know, a game that's, you know, going to set one of these teams up for the college football playoff. You know, Fox does. I mean, they're leading they're kind of leading the charge here. You know, with the SEC bias, I think, you know, a lot of fans and people that I talk to around the nation kind of sick of the ESPN following, you know, everything SEC, and then, you know, during basketball season, it just goes to the ACC. There's just not, you know, they're just not fair and even with all the conferences.
Yeah, it's really gotten out of whack, and I feel like we're moving a lot more towards that model of Fox Sports, you know, everything being the direction of the Big Ten and everything on ESPN being SEC driven. We're pretty much already there now. I mean, if you blatantly skip the number 1 game in the country, number 3 versus number 4, 2 undefeated teams, to go to I think is Texas even ranked right now?
They are.
Are they?
They are. Yeah, they're 21.
Are they 21?
Oklahoma's ranked 7 or 8 or whatever they are. I don't know.
Okay,
it should be 21.
Yeah, Texas is ranked.
Yeah, so it's just, you know, another opportunity for them to talk about Oklahoma and Texas moving to the SEC.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, exactly.
And I think that's really what it is, being the 2 new members. I mean, there's probably a better game in the SEC with Georgia going to Auburn on Saturday as well.
Exactly.
So that's a good point there too.
That would be the SEC game that I'd want to watch. But
all right, boys, we're gonna cover the Iowa game from last week real briefly before we move into our picks for this upcoming week. But I want to take a second and introduce our celebrity guest picker here. We got a former Iowa Hawkeye joining us today. You guys get real excited. Do we got any guesses on who we got here?
No clue what's going on right now.
Luca Garza.
We got former Hawkeye Brady Ross right here.
Ross, hey brother.
Yeah,
basically Luca Garza. I mean,
basically
not to let you guys down or anything like that.
Oh, it's even better.
That's
Brady
awesome.
Ross.
How you guys doing?
We're good.
Doing well,
good, man.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Big Russ, I think you might want to move your camera back. You're hardly fitting in the frame for me.
Well, I know I'm kind of like leaning back and forth. I'm in my old man rocking chair.
Russ is ripped, so he makes us all look bad. So
Swole, I know.
That's a good looking shirt there, Brady. I dig it.
I had to rep the number 1 Iowa football podcast on all the land, and I'm also up past my bedtime just to do this celebrity guest picking, and
that's awesome.
That's what you get when you're number 1.
We didn't have a Hawkeye combine sitting out in front of your house to show up in like Ashton Kutcher did. So we don't have quite the budget for that yet. So sorry about that, Brady. You definitely deserve it though.
Well, we'll get you there.
All right, guys.
Put you up in a John Deere combine. Does that work?
It's good enough for me. I've
It's not
gone
black
up in
and
the
yellow.
John Deere one, never the Iowa one. I've seen it, but like I said, we'll get there.
All right. We are on our way. All right, guys, we're going to just cover real quick what your guys' thoughts were on the game last week. It definitely went a lot better than a lot of us anticipated. I think a lot of us thought Iowa was going to be able to pull this one out. Pretty dominating on the defensive end. The offense came to life, 51-14. Iowa took care of business with Maryland pretty quickly. Iowa forced 7 turnovers in that game, 5 interceptions by Baby Tua. We kind of talked about that last week before the game, that with him scrambling around the field, he's had accuracy issues in the past, and that could come back to bite him. Patriots threw for 259 yards, which is pretty solid for him. He had a good performance, 3 touchdowns. So things went very well for the Hawkeyes last week. So we're going to start out with Russ here. Russ, what were your thoughts on watching that game, and how did you feel about how it shook down?
Well, I think, last week I think I predicted that we would dominate just due to the physical nature of our team and the brand of football that we're going to bring to Maryland. And I think you could see that really after that first possession, our line play. I mean, we were getting, pretty good push. I thought our offensive line looked a lot better than it's looked in the previous 3 games. So you could see that we were going to be able to, get Tyler Goodson the ball and get a little bit of a running attack going. So felt pretty comfortable from the beginning. And then obviously the interceptions came, and I mean, it was like a train running the poor kid over. And, the one he threw right before halftime there, when he took his hands and put him over his face, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I can't throw the ball anywhere. It was something to celebrate for sure.
He was definitely shell-shocked, no pun intended, Turtles. Things did not really go their way. Brady, I want to get your thoughts on how much of the game you were able to watch, and just with Pottebaum out there, the great job he's done this season. He's been a huge impact, and you being a guy that's played the position, you know it very well. You know what it takes to be successful there. What have been your thoughts on being able to watch Pottebaum excel, and also how well we did last week?
Yeah, being a Friday night game, I actually couldn't watch it. I was up in the booth calling.
Oh, that's right.
Humboldt football game, but I was following along the play-by-play on my phone, and it was a pleasant surprise. I thought we were going to win. I expected to win, but to win in that fashion on the road against an undefeated Big Ten team really spoke volumes. I think it was a statement game. But yeah, Monty's a great kid and a great player, a better guy, and everyone's seeing what he's doing on the field. Those are the things that I saw from him in practice as a young guy, and now it's coming to light. So it's pretty fun to watch. I'm very happy for him.
He's had a really great year so far, and he's been just a huge help to that running game. And he reminds me a lot of you, just plowing into the line, helping create a hole for the running back, whoever it may be at that time coming through, whether it be Ivory Kelly Martin or Tyler Goodson. Matt, what were your thoughts on the game last week? It was pretty dang exciting to watch. It was weird watching a Hawkeye game on a Friday night, but a lot of fun.
It was fun. I picked them to win. I knew I felt pretty comfortable coming into the game. I thought that our defensive line was going to get Tulia out of the pocket and running around, and I figured that, being a young quarterback, and he was going to make mistakes, and our ball hawk of a secondary was going to be out there, and they were going to pick him off and create turnovers and fourth downs, and they did that. They did everything they were supposed to do and more, and it was a relaxing, fun game to watch. I watched it all the way to the end. Yeah, the butt kicking was fun.
All right. It was nice. It was nice. So being on the Maryland track here, we're going to look at Maryland's game coming up this weekend. Now 4-1, going to number 7, Ohio State right now. Ohio State is a 21-point favorite. Russ, who do you got in this one?
I did a little bit of research. Didn't have the time this week to look like I did last week, but Ohio State's defense right now is ranked 86th in the nation, and giving up 397 yards per game. They just don't I know they looked great last week and kind of came out and ran all over Rutgers. And, that was one of my losses last week. But, boy, they just don't look like it. I mean, I think 21's a big number for them to cover even at home. So I'm going to go ahead and take Maryland plus the 21.
All right. Matt, what are you thinking there?
I was actually going to take Ohio State. They haven't really, until they prove me wrong, I guess they've covered some big spreads, and Maryland showed some of their Achilles heel last weekend. I just think that Ohio State's going to pour it on and get another. They're going to want to get as many big wins as they can because they're actually kind of climbing out of a hole. So they're going to win as big as they can.
Tula had a 76% completion rating before Iowa, threw 55% against the Hawks. So definitely didn't have his best game. And then we got Ohio State giving up 398 yards a game, like Russ said, or 397, like Russ said. So Tula had only thrown one interception all season before he played the Hawks. Now, Brady, again, we got a pretty big spread on this one, a 21-point spread in favor of Ohio State. The game is at Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Who are you taking in this one, Brady?
I'm taking Ohio State to win, but if we're talking the cover, I haven't seen either team play. I just know when I see 21-point spread, Maryland coming off the big loss, I got to imagine a focal point for them is going to be to take care of the football. If they can do that, which I'm just going to guess they can, no rhyme or reason to that guess because I've never seen them play yet.
You just feel it.
They should be able to keep it, within 21. I would probably gun to head say that they will keep it within 21.
All right. Next up on the docket, we have number 11 Michigan State, who's been on fire lately. Mel Tucker's crew going to Piscataway to play Rutgers, who's 3-2 right now. The spread in this one is Michigan State is a 5-point favorite, and this game's going to be on the Big Ten Network. Russ, who you taking this one between Michigan State, Old Sparty, and Rutgers?
I'll tell you, Michigan State's impressive this year. I mean, they're just scrappy on both sides of the ball. Right now they're fourth in the Big Ten in yards per game, 467 yards in offense. So I'm going with Michigan State to cover the 5 and taking the 5. Yeah.
All right, Maddie, what are you thinking on this one?
I'm going to agree with Russ on this one. I think Michigan State has showed some spunk and some impressive offense and defense, and I think they win by a touchdown or more. Rutgers really hasn't proven anything, I guess, at this point, and I just feel Michigan State's going to take them.
All right. Brady, what are you thinking of this one? Michigan State at Rutgers.
I agree with Matt and Russ on this one. This stage in the season, I think, is where you start seeing success breed success. And Michigan State has a lot to be proud of so far, and that's going to lift the spirits of the locker room, and they're going to continue to improve, I'm guessing. And Rutgers is Rutgers. So I think 5 points is a no-brainer.
I'm going out on a limb here, boys. I'm taking Rutgers. I think they're going to pull this one out. I think they're a tougher team in the trenches. Michigan State puts up a lot more yards and a lot more points, but they're not too strong in the passing game. So they give up over 300 yards a game passing, and Rutgers only gives up 186 yards passing a game. So I'm going to take the Scarlet Knights in this one. So I'm the only one on this one. So if I lose this one, it's going to screw me pretty good. But hey,
you win, it'll help you.
That's right.
Yeah, got to be bold.
Go big
sometimes.
or go home.
It looked like Brady really liked that pick you made, Adam. He had a pretty good smile on his face. He's like, "Oh, this is easy money."
I know nothing about either of these teams. I've watched Iowa State so far this year. That's the only college football game I have watched. So,
oh boy,
but Brady's
do the opposite of what I do.
Brady's been in the trenches with these guys, though, so he knows from firsthand experience. So he's going up against a bunch of armchair quarterbacks here. So all right. It's okay. It's okay. Next, we got Wisconsin at Illinois. This one's a little bit closer than typically it would be in the past. The fighting Brett Bielema's are hoping to get a win here. They haven't had a win since week 1 against Nebraska. So Wisconsin's not giving up too many yards per game, stopping the run really well. Illinois is giving up a ton of yards per game. This is a dog-friendly show, by the way. So all the dogs all the time. We love dogs here. What kind of dog do you have, Brady?
Little golden retriever.
Oh, that's your puppy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, that's nuts. When did you get a golden retriever? I just got a golden retriever probably about a month ago.
We got him on the 27th, the day we moved into this house. He's
That's nuts.
about 9.5 weeks old and just broke the 20-pound barrier.
Gee, I think our golden retriever's named Hank, and he's about 14 weeks old. So that is a crazy coincidence. That's nuts.
Great minds think alike, I suppose.
I guess. Jeez. I'm going to have to give my wife the credit on that one. She's the big golden retriever fan. So that was kind of an early birthday present for her. But back to the game, boys. We got that was our quick dog break here. Wisconsin at Illinois, like we said again. Wisconsin is a 10-point favorite at Illinois against the fighting Brett Bielema's. Russ, who do you got in this one?
I think it's the frightened Brett Bielema's, to be honest.
Yeah.
Graham Mertz, they've got him listed as questionable for next week. I gotta imagine even without Graham Mertz, I don't even know who their backup is right now. They can cover 10 points against Illinois. Illinois is terrible.
Their backup's playing for Notre Dame right now.
Oh, that's right. He is. Yeah. They only managed 275 total yards against Purdue last week. They're a pretty poor team, so I'll take Wisconsin to cover the 10 points.
All right. Well, Matt, Graham Mertz, questionable. Like Russ said, he's only thrown 2 touchdowns all year and 6 interceptions. So that sounds like stats I would put up if I went out there. That probably won't continue. I wouldn't think. It's Wisconsin. So, Matt, who are you taking, the frightened Brett Bielema's or the Wisconsin Badgers?
Well, with the frightened Illinois football team, they've only won that first game. They haven't won anything since. They haven't really showed that they can win anything since. They've been close a couple times maybe. Wisconsin's played some stiffer competition. I know they've got some injuries, some questionables, some whatevers, but it's 10 points. It's Illinois. I'm taking Wisconsin.
All right. Russell the Muscle, who do you got in this one, man?
Well, I just answered, didn't I?
Oh, you did, sir.
Yeah.
You got Wisconsin. Sorry about that.
We go to Brady.
You got his bald guys mixed up.
I guess I did. Just the bald brother in it. I think I was getting lost in Russ's 24-inch pythons and totally forgot who he had picked there. All right, Brady, who are you going to take in this Wisconsin to Illinois game?
I'm not a betting man, but when I see Wisconsin minus 10 against Illinois, I might just sell the farm and throw it on Wisconsin on this one.
All right. I agree with you guys. I'm hoping Illinois pulls this one out. I always just continually feel like Wisconsin's our biggest threat in the West. But if we take care of business this upcoming weekend, we won't have to worry about that. So all 4 of us taking Wisconsin at Illinois. So moving on to the game of the week, we have number 4 Penn State against number 3 Iowa at Kinnick Stadium. Let's see here. We got a spread. It's pretty much a pick 'em at this point. Like last time I checked, it's like 1.5 in favor of Iowa. It's gone up to 2. Russ, have you checked the spread on this one? Because it's moved around a little.
Yeah, it's 1.5 now.
1.5 is what I thought too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's been both. The game's going to be on Fox. Big noon kickoff's going to be in town. I would not want to be Matt Leinart at all right now, or Reggie Bush. They're going to get a lot of flack from the way that they bagged on the Hawks before the Holiday Bowl pregame, pretty much not giving us a chance to win that game at all. That USC had so much more talent than Iowa did, and that the Iowa's just not going to be able to keep up. And we all know how that game went. So Hawks took care of business in that one for sure. So sounds like there's going to be a lot of signs reminding those guys of the score at a big noon kickoff. So Penn State at Iowa. It's really looking like it's a wash. Sean Clifford, quarterback at Penn State's thrown for over 1,300 yards, 11 TDs, 3 interceptions. And we got, our boy Spencer Petras is really coming on, 943 yards, 7 touchdowns, and an interception on the year. Penn State puts up some yards. They don't give up too many. Russ, who you taking in this one? Penn State at Iowa, big time game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to score. I mean, you've got the number 2 total team defense in Iowa versus number 3 total team defense in Penn State. The only defense that's better in the country is Georgia, and if you've seen them play, I'd like to make sure we'd avoid those if we would make it to the college football playoff.
Yeah,
it is impressive.
It is.
Our winning margin, we're point margin in victories is 33 points versus only 18 for Penn State. I feel like we've played some good competition again. Indiana, Iowa State could help us out by winning a few more games here. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game. We talked about the point spread. The over under on the game started at 42.5 and it's been bet down to 40. So, they're probably thinking like a 12-9, somewhere around there. So I'll take Iowa to cover that 1.5 and off to the college football playoff and book my tickets for Indianapolis.
So what Russ is saying is he feels confident, but don't go take a loan out of the bank and put everything on the Hawks. It's going to be a nail biter. All right, Matt, who you taking in this one? Number 4 Penn State, the Nittany Lions against the Hawkeyes of Iowa. Going to be a tough one. Who you taking, man?
I am going to take the Hawkeyes as well. What I see in Penn State's offense is a lot of similarities between them and Maryland. I feel like our defense is going to turn the ball over. So it's going to come down to special teams play, who does better there. And it's going to come down to our offense and whether or not we can get anything going. And I feel like who we've played and what we've been up against throughout this season and how we've developed offensively the last couple of games that we can get something going. We're going to control the clock as well. That's going to be on our side. We always do. We're going to run the ball well. And I just see us, covering that 1.5 pretty easily. Maybe it's going to be low scoring, I think, just like you were talking about, Russ, because the defenses are so good on both sides of the ball. But I just think that we've got enough tools in our bag that we haven't shown yet because we haven't had to, that we're going to pull this one off.
Very well said, Matt. I pretty much agree with everything you said, dead on. I think everything is going to really go down to special teams and whether we can create turnovers on defense, which we've done great at both of those all season long. Hopefully we can do it one more week. Brady, what are your thoughts? Number 4 Penn State, number 3 Iowa. Big game. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd take any defense in the country over ours. Certainly wouldn't take any punter over ours and put it wherever he wants it and flip the field no matter where we're at. And my boy Spencer Petras doing what he does, taking care of the football and putting it where it needs to be. I'm fairly confident the Hawks can pull it out.
All right, so we got all 4 of us going for the Hawks. I feel good about the game this weekend. I think that it's going to be close. I think the Hawks pull away late in the game, but like you guys all said, I think it's going to be a little bit of a nail biter.
Brady does make a good point. If I can interrupt, I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the quarterback play with Petras taking care of the ball on turnovers versus Sean Clifford, he's had an interception in the last 3 games. So, I mean, right there alone, that can flip the field in a hurry. So
I think we're going to be able to rush. I think we'll be able to rush the ball. I mean, they've given up some yards on the ground. They even, they gave up 80 yards to Villanova.
Yeah.
and allowed Villanova 15 first downs to only 20 first downs for them. Does Villanova have a football team? I didn't. A bunch of cheerleaders.
I'm gonna shoot you straight. I knew they had a football team, but I didn't think they were Division I in football.
Yeah.
They're clear. They're a basketball school, but I thought their football program was like FCS. To be honest with you, and nothing against FCS. FCS has got some great football. Some of those FCS teams can come into FBS and beat FBS teams. But Villanova's apparently been pumping money to that football program and wanting to improve that, which is great. That's awesome.
Sure.
So it's going to be interesting. Now we got to, is it Russ, 3 p.m. kickoff on Fox, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And Russ, I know you're saying, are you making it to the game this weekend? You going to do it?
Man, I can't decide. I doubt it. I probably won't make the drive. Yeah, boy, I want to be there, and I've got a ticket and waiting for me. I got to pay for it, but I've got a ticket and waiting. But
yeah, well,
I've got some family things to take care of.
You'll never regret choosing your kids over football. So
absolutely,
you're a good man. Number 3 versus number 4 is a hard one to miss, but got to be there for the family. That's first and foremost. All right. And our last one, Brady's ready to get rid of us. We're super annoying. He's ready for bed. He's got a big day of financial planning for people to do tomorrow. Got a lot of money to make for his clients. So number 9, Michigan Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh's resurgence. He is back at Nebraska. Now, boys, I know we all know who we want to win this game, but who is going to win this game? Russ, we're going to go to you first.
I don't know how to pick this. I mean, they're my 2 least favorite coaches in all of college football, not only in the Big Ten. I really didn't even look up any statistics. I mean, we all saw and heard all week how the Huskers are back, and they're going to win the Big Ten West now. And look what we did against Northwestern. Well, Northwestern has the 117th ranked defense in the nation. They basically play like a high school team. So that said, I don't know that I'm really a big believer in what I've seen out of Michigan so far. I've only seen them play a little bit. So I'll go out on a limb, and I'm going to take Nebraska. I think Nebraska can, being at home, I think they can take that and +3 and come out on top.
All right. Yeah, we got, and I don't even think I mentioned that. What was Michigan a 3-point favorite in this one. So good thing Russ did his research and knew that. So sorry about that, guys. I don't think I even said that. Matt, who are you taking? Jim Harbaugh against Scott Frost?
Do we need Brady to do his picks first? I feel like we need to let him go to bed here. You all right, buddy?
No, I'm good.
I remember falling in his lap, and I'm like, where the hell did he go?
I'm checking my I got 6% battery left.
Oh, right on. All right.
Don't worry. I think we'll be done before then. You'll be all right.
That's good. Funny. All right. Well, I've got Michigan on this one. Nebraska lost to Illinois. They beat a couple teams that I don't even know where they rank in FBS. They got to be at the bottom, and they've just beat the worst team in the Big Ten right now this year. So a 3-point favorite. Michigan's rolling. They got a good defense. They got a decent offense. I know Nebraska's defense is better than it's been in a long time, but they just haven't had any competition yet. And as soon as they see it, and it is at Michigan as well, so I'm taking Michigan all day long here.
All right, Brady, it's got a big one. You busted through that yawn there. We're in the home stretch, man. Who are we going to take here in this last one? We got Michigan at Nebraska, 3-point spread at Memorial Stadium.
I want Nebraska to win because I know they won't be able to handle the success, and it will just be another meteoric drop because they're back and it's the 90s again, and what have you. So I'm gonna hope they're gonna win. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick them to win.
Okay.
I think that'd be really funny to see how they can respond to that sort of success.
All right. Well, I think with the 3-point spread, I'm going to go with Michigan here. I think Michigan's playing a lot better football. They played better competition. They have better players on their team. And honestly, I think they have a little bit of a better coach. So I think I don't think it really matters necessarily that it's in Memorial Stadium. I'm going to go with Michigan in this one to handle business against old Frosty. Show us that shirt, Russ.
Yeah, Frost Advisory is canceled.
Yeah, that Frost Advisory is canceled. All right, guys. Those are the picks for the week. Russ says put every bit of money you have on him. He's going to make you rich. Totally kidding. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. It's time, Brady. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, raising a new puppy, planning financial futures. We appreciate it a ton, man.
We're doing it
thanks,
all,
guys.
but thanks for letting me play along, and had a lot of fun.
Yep, go Hawks.
All right.
Good seeing you again,
Hawks,
Brady.
guys.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right. See you guys. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.